What kind of person grabs a disabled kid's hair over a wheelchair ramp? That's the question I couldn't shake as I sprinted across my front lawn, heart hammering like a drum in my chest, the second I heard my daughter Lily's muffled cry. She was only 13, tears streaking her face, clutching the arms of her wheelchair as this woman, let's call her Deborah, the self-appointed queen of our neighborhood, stood behind her, fist tangled in Lily's ponytail. The sight lit a fire in me, and I roared, "Get your hands off her!" Deborah let go, slow and smug, like she just swatted a fly, her eyes daring me to make a scene. Lily was shaking, gasping between sobs, her legs, weakened by cerebral palsy, useless if she'd even tried to stand. I wanted to shove Deborah away, but my kid came first. I knelt, checking Lily's scalp for blood, my hands trembling as she whimpered in my arms. Deborah, flipping her hair like some reality TV VY lane, sneered, "She's been rolling that thing all over our sidewalks. We have HOA rules, and I've told you people a million times no ramps cluttering the walkways." Her voice dripped with entitlement, like she owned the whole damn street. Lily never blocked anything. Her ramp, a simple setup by our front steps, let her get some fresh air, rolling maybe 10 feet down the sidewalk. It was no one's inconvenience, but Deborah had made it her life's mission to nitpick every move we made. I steadied Lily's chair, her tears fueling my rage, and bit out, "You're way out of line, Deborah. Pulling a disabled kid's hair isn't just rude, it's assault. You got a problem? Come to me." She scoffed, arms crossed so tight I thought she'd snap. "Keep her off the sidewalks then." She spat. "She rolls around like she owns the place. This neighborhood has standards. If you can't hack it, maybe you don't belong here." With that, she stormed off, Leah VYing Lily sobbing and me ready to explode. Neighbors peeked from windows, drawn by the commotion, but I didn't care. I just needed Lily safe. Inside, I got her to the couch, asking if her scalp hurt. "It stings," she whispered, "but I'm more scared." I handed her a stuffed bunny and a glass of water, promising it'd be okay, though my mind was a tornado of fury. Deborah's snide letters about curb appeal were one thing, but attacking my kid? That was a new low. When my wife, Emma, got home from errands and saw Lily's red eyes, she went pale. "She did what?" Emma whispered, horrified, as I recounted every ugly detail. She gripped my hand. "We're calling the cops, Michael. This isn't just HOA nonsense, this is violence." I nodded, knowing she was right. Hurting a disabled minor wasn't a slap on the wrist. My only worry was the local police, who often brushed off HOA spats as petty neighbor drama. But Deborah had crossed the line, and I wasn't letting it slide. While Emma comforted Lily, I called the police. The operator sounded sympathetic until I mentioned the HOA angle, then got all businesslike, saying an officer would come by. An hour later, a young cop showed up, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. He took notes, listened to Lily's shaky account of Deborah grabbing her hair, then sighed. "I'll file a report, but have you talked to your HOA board? Maybe they can sort it out." I snapped. "This isn't an HOA issue. She assaulted my daughter. She's disabled and can't fight back." He nodded, but I could see the doubt. "Any video? Witnesses?" he asked. I clenched my jaw. No cameras, no one stepping up. Neighbors avoided Deborah like the plague. "We'll check for security footage," I said. "Just file something official. She can't think this is okay." He left, promising to document it, but I knew it wouldn't move fast. Emma looked at me, eyes fierce. "Call your dad. He'll know what to do." My dad, Robert, was a retired sheriff's lieutenant, a no-nonsense guy with 30 years on the force and a badge that still carried weight. He was fishing out of town, but when he called back that night, his voice tightened as I spilled the story. "That's assault on a disabled minor," he said, each word sharp. "I'm coming tomorrow. We'll go to the station." Relief hit me like a wave. Dad wasn't just family, was a force. The next morning, Lily was jumpy, flinching at every noise, her eyes darting to the windows. Emma stayed home to be with her while Dad rolled into our driveway, all business in his crisp jacket, silver hair neat as ever. He hugged Lily gently, then turned to me. Let's go. At the station, Dad's presence shifted the air. The desk clerk snapped to attention. Good to see you, Lieutenant. And within minutes, the same officer from yesterday was sweating in a small office. Dad flashed his badge, now from a state task force, and laid it out. My granddaughter, wheelchair-bound, was assaulted. This isn't a neighbor spat. The officer nodded fast. I get it, sir, but without footage or witnesses, it's her word against yours. Dad's eyes narrowed. Did you photograph her scalp? The officer admitted no marks were visible. I jumped in. Hair pulling doesn't always leave bruises, but it's still assault. Dad pressed for an official interview with Deborah and a check for her history of complaints. After an hour, the officer agreed to escalate the report and call her in. We left, not victorious, but moving forward. Back home, Lily clung to Dad, who promised, We're handling this. Then he took a walk, scoping the neighborhood like the cop he was. 20 minutes later, he was back with a lead. Mrs. Carter, an elderly neighbor, had a security camera. We rushed over, and she was a sweetheart, horrified by what happened. Her footage showed Lily rolling along, then Deborah storming up, grabbing her hair, grainy but undeniable. My blood boiled watching it. Dad cursed under his breath. Mrs. Carter paled. I always thought Deborah was too bossy, but this? She gave us a copy, and we raced back to the station. The officer's eyes widened at the video. This changes everything, he said. We'll bring her in, maybe file charges. Dad nodded. That's what we want, accountability. That night, Emma and Lily exhaled, but Lily's nightmares lingered, waking her with whimpers about Deborah chasing her. Then, next morning, Deborah banged on our door, showing an HOA violation notice at me. Your ramp's an eyesore, she hissed. You accuse me of assault? I'll fine you daily till you're sorry you moved here. I snapped. This is retaliation. You hurt my kid, and now you're harassing us. She laughed, cold and sharp. Prove it. The HOA's on my side. Dad, overhearing, muttered. She's digging her own grave. He reminded us the ADA protected Lily's ramp. Federal law trumped HOA nonsense. Emma worried. She might turn the board against us. Dad squared his shoulders. Then we fight with facts. The police called. Deborah denied everything, claiming Lily's hair snagged on her watch while helping her. The footage shut down her lies, but she doubled down, calling it misleading. That afternoon, Mrs. Carter stopped by with cookies, saying she'd backed us up to the cops, confirming Lily's cries. The next day, charges were filed: misdemeanor assault. But Deborah wasn't done. A neighbor, Tom, warned us she'd called an emergency HOA meeting to ban our ramp, claiming it tanked property values. Dad frowned. She's deflecting. Classic bully move. At the meeting, Deborah, in a loud blazer, ranted about unsightly ramps and families exploiting the neighborhood. I stood, voice steady. My daughter Lily needs this ramp. It's her right under the ADA. Deborah smirked. Your ramp breaks bylaws. Then Dad rose, badge gleaming. I'm Lieutenant Robert, retired sheriff. Federal law overrides your rules. And Deborah is accused of assaulting my granddaughter. We have video. The room went silent. Deborah flushed, spitting. That's under investigation. The HOA president, Harold, looked rattled, tabling the ramp issue and distancing the board from Deborah's mess. Neighbors murmured, some shocked, others nodding. Tom spoke up. Lily's ramp doesn't bother anyone. This is wrong. Deborah lost it, yelling about pink houses and chaos, but Harold shut it down. Outside, we exhaled, but Deborah cornered us, jabbing at Dad. Your badge won't save them forever. That ramp's coming down. Dad's voice was ice. Touch Lily again, and you'll regret it. She flinched, then fled. Over the next week, more HOA notices arrived, petty, absurd, like our ramps. Wrong gray. But the tide turned. The HOA's lawyer, Mr. Brooks, met us, admitting Deborah overstepped. They offered an apology and promised no ramp action if we didn't sue. We agreed, prioritizing Lily's safety. A for sale sign sprouted in Deborah's yard, sweet relief, though I stayed cautious. At her hearing, Deborah's lawyer offered therapy funds to drop charges. I refused. This isn't about money, it's about justice. The footage played, Lily bravely testified, and Deborah's watch excuse flopped. She took a plea: community service, probation, anger management, and a no-contact order. The HOA ousted her, issuing a letter affirming Lily's ramp rights. Neighbors rallied, some apologetic, others inspired. Lily slowly reclaimed the sidewalk, her laughter returning. Dad, before Leah VYing, took her for ice cream, sharing cop stories. She grinned, saying, "Maybe I'll help people like Grandpa." I ruffled her hair. "You're the bravest kid I know." Deborah thought she could bully a disabled girl and win. She was wrong. Lily belonged here, and with Dad's badge, a camera, and a community waking up, we proved it. Bullies thrive when no one fights back. We did, and won.